critical appreciation of Indian weavers. This poem is composed by Sarojini Naidu, who has always been regarded as the Nightingale of India. And now all these are the main headings to this question. For the examination, you can take the help of all these points. The very first is, as the title is, Indian Weavers. Indian Weavers is a well-known poem, one of the most popular poems of Sarojini Naidu, and it is a folk song from her anthology The Golden Threshold. Okay, this poem Indian Weavers is a folk song and it has been taken from The Golden Threshold from this anthology. No doubt it is a very simple and enjoyable poem. Weavers are those person or those employees, those workers, rural workers. Weavers are just like a community of rural workers who are always employed in the production of cloth. And weavers weave cloth from yarn on a loom. Loom is a kind of device or it is a kind of machine. So weavers are an integral part of rural society. So weavers, Indian weavers, and here weavers, they belong to India. So this is why that the title is here after Indian weavers. Structure of this song is 3 stanzas, right? This is the structure of this poem. Structure of this song is that 3 stanzas are there and each stanza has 4 lines. So there is not a complicated stanza but a complicated structure of the song, but the structure is also very simple, not confusing, because there we find hardly 3 stanzas. So in total, because each stanza carries only 4 lines, so total lines are only 12 lines of this song. The Indian weavers, no doubt because it has 3 stanzas, so the Indian weavers, this poem has we can say that it is a small song, a small poem, a small lyric hardly of 3 stanzas of 4 lines each. And in each stanza, okay, because it is in the form of questions and answers, means in each stanza there is asked a question in the first 2 lines and the question is answered in the remaining 2 lines, because each stanza carries 4 lines. So first 2 lines are in the form of questions and the last 2 lines of each stanza gives answers to that question. Or we can say that there is put 3 questions and 3 answers. Questions by the poetess and answers are given by the weavers. So this is the structure of this song. Weaving, no doubt weaving is one of the most important of the folk vocations in India, and the weavers are very important folk characters. So this is the structure of this song based on the Indian weavers. Theme of the poem. The theme of this poem is, of course, life and death. Indian theme, Indian culture, Indian vocation or Indian profession, and the Indian professionals are weavers. But the main theme of this poem is philosophy, that is life and death. This is the main theme. Means the poetess Sarojini Naidu, she observes some weavers weaving a bright, beautiful cloth in the early morning or at break of day, and she asks some Indian weavers why they were weaving such a gay or bright cloth, and then the answer is given to her by the weavers. So that was the main theme, but particularly that is Indian philosophy, or the whole poem is based only on the human life or human death. So there are mentioned three stages of life, okay? Three stages of life. So what kind of three stages of life? That is human life. Three stages of human life, that is birth, marriage and death. These are the main theme, and these are the three stages of human life. The very first is birth, second is marriage and third one is death. So next point is first stage. First stage of human life, right? First stage of human life, that is birth, or we can say infancy. First stage birth, second stage of human life marriage and third stage of life death. First stage infancy, second stage youth and third stage old age. So when we talk of the first stage, there is a mention of morning. Morning represents infancy or birth. Evening, second stage, evening presents youth or marriage, and the third stage, the time is mentioned of the night, cold night, and night, that means old age or death. So these three different stages are presented by the poetess throughout this poem. And the first stage, what happens in the first stage? First stage, that means first question is asked by the poetess, right? First stage, first question, second stage, second question, and third stage, third question, and the answer is also answer one by one. So three stages, three questions, three answers, or three main periods of human life, and these three headings are very important for the examination. You have to mention here the three stanzas one by one. So the first stage of human life, this means that the first stanza, what happens in the first stanza? What is asked and what is replied? The poet Sarojini Naidu, she asked in the first stage, in the first stanza, she asked the weavers who were weaving a garment in the early morning why they were weaving. They were weaving a bright colored garment. Now to this question of the poetess, the weavers answered that they were weaving the bright blue colored garment which was as bright and smooth as the blue wing of a wild helicene. Helicene is the name of a bird, and because from this cloth the costume or the dress of a newborn baby would be made. So this was the first stage, and at three different stage are presented at different hours. So this was the time of morning. Okay, this was the time of morning when the weavers were weaving. So in the second stage, the second question, that is marriage or youth. Now the poetess asked the weavers who were weaving a garment at evening, and she asks them why they were weaving such a bright and multicolored garment. It was multicolored. So to this question of the poetess, now the weavers answered that they were weaving the bright or multicolored garment which was like the plumes of peacock or the feathers of peacock, a beautiful combination of purple and green colors of a peacock, because from this cloth the marriage of a queen, the marriage of a girl would be made. So that was the period of youth, marriage, and the time was here evening, nightfall. Now the last stage, the third stage of life, the third question is asked by the poetess. Now she asks the weaver who were weaving a cloth what they were weaving with such seriousness, calmness, and they all were very silent. And this was the time cold moonlight. So it was the time of night, and to this question of the poetess, the weavers answered now that they were weaving a cloth which was as white as now there is the color as the feather of a bird and a cloud, because it was the coffin cloth to cover a dead body taken for funeral, and the time was here night. So this stage presents here death, old age, and the time was of night, morning, evening, and night. Okay. If we come to the symbols, no doubt that this poem is very symbolical poem, and if we come to the symbols, we find here that there is a symbol of morning, evening, night. Oh, these are the three phases of life, three period of life, three stages of life. That is infancy, marriage, death, or infancy, youth, old age, birth, marriage, death, or morning, evening, and night. And there is a comparison, or there is a symbol plumes of a peacock, feather of a peacock. So here we find the mention of Krishna and Radha, when there is a symbol of marriage, that is a peacock, plumes of a peacock, combination of purple and green color. So we find here, we remind here of Lord Krishna, because the weavers when they reply that they are weaving the cloth for the dress of a newly born child, so that is why the cloth they weave is of a blue color, as blue is the wing of a kingfisher. The dawn or daybreak symbolizes the beginning of life. Okay, that was when they were weaving for the newborn child, that was birth or infancy. It was the symbol of beginning of life, the birth of new life. And blue color symbolizes the depth and color of the ocean, out of which emerges the white swan. We can say white swan and the white lotus in the Hindu creation myths. It also symbolizes the ocean of eternity, after crossing which alone the soul is born into this world. The newborn child is an expression of the creative powers and the creative joy of Brahma, the Supreme. So it is in the fitness of things that the garment woven for him should be blue in color, gay and bright. At the time of evening, when the poetess finds the weavers weaving a cloth bright and multicolored and asks them for whom they are weaving a cloth of such beautiful colors, so the weavers tell her that they are weaving a cloth of purple and green color. Okay, plums of a peacock combination. The weavers tell poetess that they were weaving a cloth of purple and green color. Okay, peacock. Here is a mention of peacock. Green color, combination of green and purple color. And the cloth they were weaving, that was very magnificent, very colorful, like the feathers of a peacock or like the plumes of a peacock, for the bridal dress of a queen. So purple and green are the colors of blood, and we can say that it is a symbol of, or the symbol of fertility, growth. Actually, the plums of the peacock, the the plums of the peacock is a symbol of Lord Krishna, okay, an incarnation of Vishnu, and it represent, okay, this is a very important symbol, and it represent the many colored splendor of life. The colorful garments designed to be the marriage veils of a queen are for Radha, the beloved of Lord Krishna. So here is a mention when we find that marriage. So here we find or we remind of Lord Krishna and Radha, the eternal bride for Lord Krishna. So they symbolize the marriage of heaven and earth, the pious union, pure union of being and becoming. The glory, the mystery, and the joy of life are all stressed as the expression of the joy of Vishnu in his creative mood. When we find the third stage, that was in the cold moonlight, the poetess, she finds the weavers still at work and they are now very silent. Their mood is also very serious. They are now weaving a white cloth. And now if we talk of the symbol, white cloth, they were weaving the white cloth. So the cloth was as white as a bird's feather or a cloud. And to this question of the poetess, they reply in brief that they are weaving it for the funeral shroud of a dead man. So the chill of the moonlight, the cold moonlight, the chill of the moonlight night is very symbolic, and it is a symbol of death. Symbol of death, because death's color is always of white color. White is the symbol of why? Why this is? Because white is the symbol of purity, of unity, of possibility. So here death means a reunion. Okay, death means a reunion. It is a symbol with the eternal and the possibility of regeneration. So we also find here Hindu mythology, that is Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, oh, that is God. The full form of God may be same, generator or creator, that is Brahma, operator, sustainer or Vishnu, and D for, that is destroyer or destructor, that is Mahesha or Lord Shiva. So if we find that there are three stages and the symbols are also of generator, operator and destroyer, right? That was birth, marriage, death or infancy, youth and old age. If we just look from the Hindu mythology point of view, so there are the symbols of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha or generator, operator and destroyer. So this song or this lyric is a very admirable lyric, and the poetess Sarojini Naidu, she has traced very well human life through the three most important stages that it passes: birth, marriage and death. She also presents the journey of human life symbolically. Symbolically, the weavers are actually no one. The weavers are here just like God, or just like there is a symbolic representation of the weavers. Weavers are Hindu Trinity. Okay, weavers are the symbols of God or Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, the creator, the operator, the destroyer, or we can say that the weavers are the symbol of fates. Fates, that the three occasions of human life, that is birth, marriage and death. So here weavers are the symbol of God, or weavers are the symbol of Hindu Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu or Mahesh, or weavers are also the symbol of fates. In this way, if we say in brief that in 12 lines, okay, only within 12 lines, Sarojini Naidu, she has provided a symbolic representation of man's journey from birth to death. The weavers are the fates of Greek mythology, weaving the web of life, or the Indian Trinity, God, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesha, the lords of man's destiny, those who create and regenerate through death itself. Their process of creation is an endless one, like the weaving of the weavers from morning till night. Okay, from morning till night, morning, evening, and night. Therefore, this poem is a philosophical poem, and this poem is very melodious poem, and there is a simplicity. Okay, there is a simplicity. It is a very simple poem in simple language, and we also find there elements of both, a mixture of both, mixture of happiness and unhappiness, and elements of joys and sorrows. Means there is a mixture of pessimism and optimism. Pessimism, when we come to the first stage, there is an infancy, there is a brightness, so there is a first stage of human life, birth. That is a time of joy, a time of optimism, and pessimism when we come to death. So there is a mixture of both pessimism and optimism, and we find here elements of joys and sorrows. So all these were the important points for the examination, and the important parts are three stages of human life.